podcast. I'm here with Tina Harris, my incredible mentor. I'm so thrilled that she is able to come on the podcast today. Thank you so much, Tina. I'm so happy you're here.
Oh, thanks, Tina, for having me. It's a real thrill.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and you've helped me so much in my business. And I really wanted to share your work and tell everybody what you're up to. So let's start off with telling everybody and my audience who you are and what you do.
Okay, all right. I am a weird person. I have two businesses. One of them is for anyone who has a preschooler or, oh gosh, they could have little ones kind of up to 10 now. I've been jumping around on stage in stripy socks on ABC Kids and Nickelodeon and some other networks as Lala from Lala's Big Live Band for a number of years. So that's one of my businesses. And the other business is taking all of that amazing knowledge that I learned over the last 12 years with Lala about video and working in front of the camera. And now my main business is Courage on Camera, which teaches solopreneurs how to jump up in front of the camera to create and make and monetize their videos online.
Yeah, and it works.
It does work. It works really well, and that's what I'm really excited to share with people.
Yeah, thanks, Tina. And I really wanted to start. Where did you start singing? How did you come about with singing, and how did it all begin for you?
Singing. Okay, so
Oh,
right way,
yeah.
way, way back, because I'm now 150 years old. No, when I was younger, like so many young kids going through school, I fell in love with musicals and specifically the old musicals. And I think because musicals, the old Hollywood musicals, you needed to have more technique and more of a classical kind of background. So that kind of pushed me into the world of classical singing. So then I went off after school and went to the Australian Opera School, then went and sang with Opera Australia for a number of years, and then went overseas to do some more study. And when I came back and had babies, a friend from the opera said to me, "You're great with kids. Why don't you look at doing some early childhood music?" And that's when I met you. And I started doing some kinder music classes and then ran a school. The school ended up being so successful that one of the mums said to me, "Oh my gosh," she said to me, "You guys are great. You should do a live show." And I went, "Oh, that's a good idea." And at the time, the Wiggles were really popular. They still are, but they were like in incarnation part two, I think, at that point. And um, we started Lala. We did our first show, hired our first venue, recorded our first CD, and ended up getting some clips onto Nickelodeon. And that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, I love your story that you just went all out. And tell us about how, I mean, that took a lot of courage. Like you created your CDs and everything, and then tell us the story about how Nickelodeon picked you up.
Oh, I did everything the wrong way, and that was one of the lovely things about mentoring people now is I can
Yeah.
say, don't do it like the way I did it. No, I think I have a thing where if someone ever says no to me, I always want to find a way to make it work. And so back then when we decided that we were going to do this first live show, I had never produced a live show before. I'd grown up in music and, I'd grown up in the world of opera and, my husband's a jazz double bass player, but I'd never actually self produced a show. And I thought that if you put on a good show and you advertised it, people would come. But it doesn't actually work that way. People actually need to know who you are and what you're doing. And you need to have a message and a story around all of this. And so I hired a venue at the Seymour Centre and I put on 25 shows across 2 weeks, which is
Wow.
insane. Like, it's so insane. There is absolutely zero way that I would be able to sell all of those tickets. And I put big splashy ads in the Sydney Morning Herald and, like just all over the place. And what happened was we didn't sell enough tickets. We sold enough tickets for maybe an eighth of the shows. And I remember being absolutely in an absolute panic because I'd managed to, I think I doubled our business debt in the space of like 2 months or 3 months. And I remember saying to our choreographer at the time, I don't know what I've done here. I've just made the biggest mistake ever. And she said to me, she goes, Tina, use this as an industry showcase.
Mm,
Go out and invite as many theatres and agents and anybody who you think would be interested in this show, get them along and get them talking. And that was the single most best advice that I'd ever been given. So
that's
I went
awesome.
out and I invited the Sydney Opera House, the Enmore Theatre, and I finally got through to the broadcaster at Nickelodeon. And the irony is, she'd seen these great big splashy ads in the Sydney Morning Herald, and she'd gone, "Who is this Lala? We really need to go and see this." So when I reached out to her, it was the perfect timing.
Wow.
And all three of those booked us. So the Opera House, but mind you, when I say it booked us, it did take about, oh gosh, it must have been 15 emails and about 8 phone calls to get them along to actually turn up at the show. So even though they came
Amazing.
and they loved it, you still have to be incredibly persistent to get
Mm.
them there so that they will, come along to the show. The
And
Emerald
the
Theatre
show
booked us.
needs, sorry, the show needs to be excellent too, and I'm sure you didn't an
Well,
excellent
I mean,
job with the
that's
show.
the thing. I think sometimes when you start something new, you don't actually know if it's any good. And so it is this massive leap of faith.
Mm.
You've created this baby, and you just don't know when you put it out into the wide world how are people actually going to respond. So, yeah, it's a very interesting experiment in your own confidence and courage.
Yeah, and you mentioned about you were going to talk about the Seymour Center. Do you remember what you were going to say? Sorry, I interrupted you a little bit.
Oh, I don't think it was terribly exciting. Yeah, just the Seymour Centre. It was a great experience. And yes, I've never opened 20 shows like that ever again. But look, I think the thing is when you things are always hard the first time you do it, and then as soon as you take that step and you take that action, it causes a reaction, and
Mm.
you learn from what you've done. And I think it's really about people developing their own, doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's music or business or even personal stuff, getting organized with family stuff. You set up your own processes and ways of being successful, and I think that's really key. It's just recognizing those processes.
Yeah, yeah. So and look at where you're at now. So it's been really wonderful to work with you. Um, I've been able to create my videos. Like the first few videos wasn't very good, but then with more practice, I've been able to create my videos on YouTube thanks to you and Mark, and grown my subscribers, which is unbelievable. Like I didn't know that it would grow up to 1,000 subscribers and 1,000.46K was the exact
That's amazing. Tina. That's so cool. Well, there's two things there. First off,
yeah.
you're being way too hard on yourself because you've always made beautiful videos. You have such an amazing eye. And I remember, the videos of your students and making those music video clips. They're stunning. I think they're just really beautiful. I think the thing that you've enjoyed in the Courage on Camera program is that taking your eye and your natural ability and putting it into a process has really exponentially helped your YouTube channel grow. And
Mm.
I think one of the interesting things is, and it's a question for you. Let me ask you a question, Tina. Um, when you started the Courage on Camera program, what did you want to do with your videos?
I actually wanted to create videos to go with my children's book, the My Lola book. So, apart from creating videos for my One Voice singing students, I wanted to create like videos to go with the book, and then create music kind of classes to introduce it to the Filipino slash Australian community, but also the American community as well. So yeah, I just wanted to reach more people, and in that way. So it's been really exciting to think about how am I going to do that, and to start creating the illustrations to go with the videos. I think that's been really fun to do. And then, I've just recently created a Rainbow Connection song and film clip with my students. So, and it's been really great to kind of talk to the students and say, oh, can you be a fairy in this? And then they'll start thinking about ideas. And one of my students, Stella, she was like, oh yeah, can I be like a cheeky fairy? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, be a cheeky fairy. So she just like took that video. If it wasn't for her giving ideas and us working through it, she just created the ideas and took it to another level compared to what
Yeah,
I
that's
would have.
right. I love that. I love that video can be such an individual expression for people and such a collaborative thing to work on. Like it's so much fun. Yeah, and it's a great process. And I think sometimes people look at it from the outside and they go, "Oh my gosh, that's so hard." But when you
Mm.
actually start with video, it can be such a it's like writing a book. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah,
be
and
creative into it.
I was like, so once I create one video, I just take the next that those ideas and those processes to the other video, to the new video. And it's yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. So it's been fun.
Right. And has
Yeah.
it opened like more opportunities for you? I think you said that you were actually getting some work out of
Yeah.
videos that you've already created.
So I shared that I've got the One Voice YouTube video up and the YouTube channel up, and one of my old students' parents own childcare centers, and
Wow.
they were like, "Oh, we saw your videos. Um, do you want to try and do a music program at my Jural childcare center?" And so that's been successful, and now they want me to go to the now I'm doing two other centers in Quakers Hill. So yeah, thanks Learning Blocks.
That's
Learning
great.
Block
That's so
centers.
fantastic. That's so
Yeah,
lovely.
and it's been a huge like I because of COVID, my student numbers have gone down, and it's been such a struggle to get them up because either we've been in lockdown or on and off. So yeah, now this opportunity's come, and it's just made a huge difference. Not only with me creating videos for the students in Learning Blocks, but also just it's helped me with my income as well, which has been down for so long. So yeah, but yeah, I thank you for that. You and
Oh
Mark.
no, you're the one who made the videos. That's brilliant. That's fantastic. Congratulations to you. Look, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about video is that, and I always like to explain it as video is actually a cog in your business plan, in your business model, and the amount of exposure that you get from creating just one video is actually it's crazy. It really is amazing. And so what we like to do now is we have all of our cogs connected. So our YouTube connects to our Spotify, which connects to our video on demand service that we created, which is like a membership site. And all of these cogs, they feed into each other, and they all are constantly on their own going out and finding new audiences and new income. And as they turn, all of it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's quite exciting to watch. And Mark and I were marveling at this at the beginning of this year. We our parents, we've got a couple of elderly parents, and they were very, very sick, and it meant that we actually had to step out of the business for about 5 months, which is a really long time to
Yeah.
step away from your business. And I remember there was one point I turned to Mark and I said, it's actually working. We are not feeding or pushing any of those cogs, and they're actually turning by themselves. And this video income machine was actually generating enough income so it was paying our salaries, it was paying the mortgage, it was paying the bills, it was keeping a roof over our head, feeding the kids, and actually creating this really quite abundant lifestyle. and we weren't working on it. And I thought that's a really interesting experiment for us to be able to step 100% away and see that the thing actually really works on its own. So that for me that was a really exciting moment.
Yeah, that's very exciting. I actually looked at my account for the YouTube, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's generated $2 something for me.
It'll just get more, Tina, more, more, more. But the thing is, I think with YouTube, what a lot of people don't realize, if ad revenue is actually a goal for your YouTube channel, then it is like, on Instagram at the moment, if you're making a reel, you can, Instagram is pushing reels, but if you don't treat reels the right way, Instagram won't push your reel. So you have to use trending music along with your reel. Otherwise, Instagram's not going to play ball.
Mm, mm,
YouTube's the same. YouTube is all about the algorithm. So if you want your YouTube channel to start generating more income, then you need to actually start feeding it with some trending content. And that doesn't mean just going off and making Five Finger Family songs. It actually means um, researching topics in your genre or that your audience likes that YouTube is favoring. So doing the kind of like homework of what kind of stuff you're going to make, and then making a video specifically for that. I think this is something that a lot of people come when they come to the program, and they're like, oh, I've made this YouTube channel, and the videos I'm making on it at the moment aren't working. I'm not getting enough views. It's usually because it's a video that they want to make,
mm.
not that their audience wants to watch or that YouTube wants to play ball with. And I think once you get that kind of sweet spot between your audience, the algorithm, and your interests or your intellectual property, your genius zone, you get those three things sorted out, and that's when the YouTube channel becomes really exciting. But yeah, but I think for people who want some inspiration in chasing those views and income, there's a website called socialblade.com. If you go to Social Blade and you pop in any YouTube channel that you're following or even your own, you can actually pop it in and it'll show your views, income, and what's happening on a whole lot of graphs. It's actually very interesting to go and look at.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think I last time I saw that was when you actually spoke about it last year. Um, so I'll have to double check my one
Double
how
check it.
it's.
Yeah, no, yeah, because what I think what you'll see is you'll see the spike as it starts to take off and go off, which is really good. But the other thing is YouTube goes up and down like a yo-yo,
Mm,
so that's why having other streams of income along with your YouTube channel is so important. I think
yeah,
so many creators go out there and they think, oh, I'm just going to go viral on YouTube. That's lovely, but what you do want to do is actually create a complete sustainable model around that, especially
yeah.
musicians. It's really important.
And I think the reason why my views went up was because I created my Familiar course as well. And that was when, they stayed and watched the videos because it was a program. So that helped.
And how's the course going?
I haven't actually pushed it out, but I've created like live classes as well, so live events. So yeah, so all the people that have been part of that have come to the event, and I'm going to do more during the year. So it's
Right.
been
Well,
good.
you're such an inspiration. That's brilliant. I love
Oh,
it.
thank you. I know you've got something on coming this Wednesday. You've got a special
Yeah, I'm
event.
doing a masterclass. That's right. It's called Creating Successful Videos That Make You Money Without the Headaches. And it's really to introduce people to how simple it is to get started with video and look at how you can use your genius zone to create beautiful content and actually grow your audience and start making money with videos. So that's just going to demystify the process and hopefully make it more accessible for people to start making more videos.
That's great. Yeah, I think the first thing is just like that first step, and then, taking step by step, and learning on the way, and not thinking about perfection. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just, and one of the things I always recommend is that people start a closed Facebook group. Don't share it with anybody. Don't give the address to your mum. Don't send the link to anybody else. It's just for you. So you can actually start making videos today, pop them up. And as you get better with the process and your confidence starts to build, then you can start sharing as many videos as you want. But I think having a space where you can actually make yourself accountable and
Mm.
see and watch your own progress is really important.
Yeah, that's great. I'll put the link to your to the
Mark-
masterclass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yep.
And also, if anybody decides they want to join your program, I do have a special link that they can click on, and I am a very proud affiliate for your program.
I think that's awesome.
Because it works. It works. If you put the work into it, it does work. And yeah, so you can visit my link with tinabangle.com/courage. And what you'll get is some vocal scales, some vocal warm ups, and also some accountability calls, 3 accountability calls where I can hold your hand and guide you through the process. Because it can be a bit daunting just starting, so.
Absolutely. And look, I love the fact that you're putting vocal warm ups and scales along with this affiliate because one of the things that people, often are most worried about when they're making videos is their voice. It's, what's my voice going to sound like in the video? What happens if it cracks or if it's, it sounds, doesn't sound right? And so I think doing vocal warm ups and scales is brilliant before you
Yeah,
start making videos. It's fantastic.
yeah, excellent. So, there's a few things that I ask to all my guests, and one of them is, what is your obsession at the moment? Like really weird obsession or something?
Um, Oh gosh, I think I have so many. Well, I'm addicted to coffee. It's actually, I mean, people know that I'm addicted to coffee, but it's may have taken a whole new level. Um, Especially in launch week for Courage on Camera,
Yes.
I'm drinking a lot of coffee, um, and I also oh, I'm a little bit. This is so. This I don't know if this makes me sound unprofessional. I have a rabbit in my office, and at the moment I can hear it jumping around my bedroom. It is my daughter's rabbit. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I caved over Easter and I let her get an Easter bunny. And somehow or other, the rabbit has now lives in my office.
Oh, so cute.
It's cute, but it often can be quite noisy on a Zoom call. For some reason, it wants to. But I've decided that picking up a rabbit and patting a rabbit during the day is actually a very calming and lovely thing to do. So, yeah, so I have my two obsessions. I have lots of coffee and a rabbit.
Perfect, perfect. I love coffee too, and you you work at a place where you get good
People think
coffee.
I'm mad. People think I'm absolutely insane. But yes.
So, another question is, what's one song that changed your life?
Oh gosh, that's so hard. Um, Oh, okay, so how's this? When I first started dating my husband,
Oh,
he used to sing Nature Boy to me all the time. That was his favorite song.
oh,
He used to sing it. So I guess that's the song that changed my life.
oh, that's beautiful. Oh, Mark's very lucky. You're both lucky to have each other.
Well, he's actually home this week, which is so nice, but
Oh
he's off to
yeah.
New Zealand next week. So
Oh,
more
for the
touring.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, if you're in New Zealand, catch what's the
Girl from
show
the
called?
North Country. Girl from the North Country. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so the final question is, one voice can change the world is the title of this podcast. What does that mean to you?
That means that singing or saying what you think or feel has a ripple effect beyond what you could potentially measure. So your voice impacts not just the person who hears it, but the people that they then go and share and tell your message and speak about you. So your voice impacts the world.
Yeah, incredible. And your voice has impacted my world and my students, and you're so right. It's just rippled into to all, you know, my students and their families. So, and I have to thank you and Mark for helping me out with my virtual concerts when the pandemic was on. It
They
was
were
just
fantastic, Tim. You blew my mind. And I loved, oh my gosh, I loved so many things about your virtual concerts, and especially the way that you got your students to actually introduce each other and MC it with you. You were handling all of this technology, which was brand new to you. And it was like, oh my gosh, it was like an ABC broadcast. It was just phenomenal. It was wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
And the kids had a really great time, and the families were so grateful that we were able to showcase their talents over that time. But one of the things that came out of it was just incredible. That my student, we co-wrote a song for him, and then Sunrise picked it up and interviewed him on Sunrise Weekend, and now he's just starting to create his own album. He's
Oh,
just
amazing.
blossomed, and yeah, and a lot of the students have done that too, just because you've been able to help me, and then I'm able to help them.
That's
You
so
know,
lovely. Isn't it lovely when
flourish.
your students do well, though? It is just the best feeling. Like
Yeah,
it's so much more powerful than when you have your own personal success. When it's someone that you've helped and they do really well. I love it, and that's I mean, it's why you do the work you do, and it's why we do the work we do. It's great.
yeah, it's unbelievable. It's so incredible, and thank you so much for being on the podcast. Tell everybody how they can follow you, and share your link as well for your
Yeah,
masterclass.
absolutely. Yep, yep. My website is tinaharris.com.au. If you're coming to the masterclass, it's tinaharris.com.au/register. You can follow me on Instagram, where I put lots of silly videos up about my pets, and Facebook as well.
Yay. Thank you so much, Tina. It's been wonderful to have you on the podcast, and I'm sure a lot of people will get a lot of inspiration for the stories that you've told. And it's been wonderful to learn about your journey, and I'm looking forward to working with you some more. So yeah, it's been great.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here today.
Thanks so much, Tina. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.